Howdy. Please be seated. Ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, family, friends, and honored graduates, welcome to the 2022 commencement ceremonies for Texas A&M University's College of Veterinary Medicine and Biomedical Sciences. Good afternoon. I'm John August, and I'm privileged to serve as the Carl B. King Dean of the College of Veterinary Medicine and Biomedical Sciences, and I would like to welcome you to this very, very special occasion. For the past 106 years, the College of Veterinary Medicine and Biomedical Sciences has served Texas as one of only 31 veterinary colleges and schools in the nation. Today's ceremony recognizes the 102nd class of veterinarians to graduate from the tradition-rich halls of Texas A&M University. The 140 veterinary students graduating today will increase the total number of Texas A&M veterinary medical graduates to 8,761. May 11th, 2022 marks a very special day, especially for the 140 women and men who, in a few moments, will join the ranks of the veterinary profession. Their journey has been challenging. After completing their pre-veterinary requirements, which usually includes a 4-year undergraduate degree and sometimes 1 or 2 more graduate degrees, they enter the rigorous 4-year veterinary medical curriculum. The students before us today have completed all of the requirements to become new doctors of veterinary medicine. After today, they will leave Texas A&M University to embark upon their professional careers as veterinarians. This is also a special time for my faculty colleagues as they reflect with great pride on the product of their academic work, our graduates today. They're reminded once again that their dedication to exemplary education at Texas A&M has been rewarded with your academic success and the graduation of a truly outstanding class of veterinarians. Today is an extraordinary celebration for our faculty as well. So will the faculty of the College of Veterinary Medicine and Biomedical Sciences please stand as able and be recognized. Today marks a celebration for everyone present, parents, grandparents, partners, spouses, children, and friends, siblings, all of whom have provided the love, support, and the network needed for our graduates today to realize their dreams of becoming doctors of veterinary medicine. We welcome you all. One of our core values at Texas A&M University is loyalty. We are very fortunate to have former students and other supporters who helped to make our university one of the nation's truly great public land-grant institutions. I'm delighted to introduce Mr. Scott Walker, class of 1990, who is the Vice President of our Association of Former Students, to make some remarks. Mr. Walker.
Howdy. Thank you very much, Dean. On behalf of the Association of Former Students, and indeed the worldwide Aggie Network, congratulations to each and every one of you on your graduation today. It's a big deal. It's a tremendous accomplishment, and we're all very proud of what you've done. You're exceptional. Now, whether you're a new Aggie graduate, an old Ag like me, a member of the outstanding faculty, staff, administration, a dedicated Aggie parent, perhaps a proud Aggie spouse, or even the son or daughter of an Aggie, you, each and every one of you, you are the worldwide Aggie Network. The renowned Aggie Network is a powerful and prominent resource for Texas A&M, for our faculty and our staff, and indeed for each of you as graduates. It is a network that extends well beyond our diplomas and even beyond our cherished Aggie rings. Graduates, in your time here, you've certainly been influenced by our former students. They may have guided you in your decision to attend veterinary school here. They may have mentored you during your years in college, or they may have provided support to the association's annual fund. But former students of our university, in one way or another, they give back generously of their time, their treasure, and their talent. That is the legacy of every Texas Aggie, and it's a time-honored responsibility that you now carry forward as former students of Texas A&M University. Some of you earned the title of former student 4 years ago or so. Others of you will own it in about 4 more minutes. But whether you've been a former student for 4 years or you're about to become one, you continue a 143-year tradition of service and support established and continued by the generations of Aggies who walked these halls before you. Created by our first former students in 1879, nurtured by generation after generation of Aggies over the past century and a half, the Association of Former Students today annually provides critical financial support to our university, which is unmatched and indeed unrivaled by any other alumni organization in the world. Today, we welcome you all as members of the Association of Former Students, the premier alumni organization in the world. Will the College of Veterinary Medicine and Biomedical Sciences class of 2022 please rise as able? Graduates, the association you inherit today was founded and exists to promote the interest and welfare of Texas A&M and to perpetuate the ties of camaraderie formed in university days. It is my distinct privilege to officially induct you and welcome you into the Association of Former Students of Texas A&M University. And to signify this important transition, I ask each of our graduates to take a moment, and if you have an Aggie ring, take a look at it. That ring, it reminds us of our core values: excellence, integrity, leadership, loyalty, respect, selfless service. And it reminds us of the vast Aggie network to which we all proudly belong. Since earning your Aggie ring, as tradition holds, the class year has faced you to remind you of your goal to graduate as a veterinarian from Texas A&M University. This is that day, and at this time, I now ask each of you, if you didn't already do so at an undergraduate ceremony, to remove your ring and turn it around so that the class year points outward to face the world as a proud former student and graduate of Texas A&M University. That's right. If you don't have an Aggie ring today, rest assured you are and always will be an important part of the worldwide Aggie network. You are a Texas Aggie, and as such, you are never alone. And joining you on your path are your outstanding College of Veterinary Medicine education, our core values, and our worldwide Aggie network. Throughout your life's journey, wear that Aggie ring or the title of Texas Aggie with pride, and remember that you are forever a Texas Aggie. Please be seated. Graduates, future generations of Aggies will look to you for leadership. Many of you already support future Aggies through your gifts to the association, and for that, we're deeply grateful. I encourage you to continue that support annually, but even more, I encourage you to remain an involved Aggie. Wherever your life takes you, find the local Aggie muster because there's going to be one nearby and attend. And if there's not one nearby, get in touch with us and we'll help you start one. Join a local A&M club, join a professional constituent network. Be the very best Aggie that you can be. You can always visit us at the Alumni Center or online at aggienetwork.com to learn more about how you can remain an involved former student. Aggies helping Aggies, that's the oldest tradition of Texas A&M. Thank you for continuing this tradition by helping the Aggies who follow in your footsteps here or wherever you go in the world. Congratulations and gig 'em.
Thank you, Mr. Walker, for those words. Before I introduce my administrative colleagues on the stage, I'd like to introduce some very special guests. And first, Dr. Timothy Scott, Interim Provost and Executive Vice President and Professor of Biology. Dr. Scott. I want to thank Dr. Scott, who is my boss, for his consistent and deep support of our College of Veterinary Medicine and Biomedical Sciences. I deeply appreciate that. We also have in the audience Mr. Kevin McGinnis, who is University Chief Compliance Officer, and he's a distinguished member of Texas A&M's administrative community. Kevin, I don't know if I can see you over there, if you're here, but thank you for joining us this afternoon. I'd also like to take this opportunity to recognize some very special guests representing the Texas Veterinary Medical Association. And I ask you to please stand as able to be recognized when I call your name. Joining us on stage today, and you'll hear from her later on, Dr. Tamara Walthall, President of the Texas Veterinary Medical Association. Seated in the audience as special guests are Mr. Troy Alexander, Executive Director of the TVMA, Ms. Angela Russell, Associate Director of the TVMA, Dr. Don Farrell, Chairman of the Board for TVMA, Dr. Jody Long, President-elect of the TVMA Board, Dr. Pancho Hubert, Council Chair, Association Affairs for TVMA, Dr. Nancy Carter, Professional Advancement Council Chair for TVMA, and Ms. Donna Eberhardt, Membership and Marketing Manager for TVMA. Thank you all for participating in today's ceremony and for your continued deep support of our college. Thank you very much. And now it's my pleasure to recognize the administrative leadership team of our college. Every day, I have the opportunity to work closely with each of the following associate and assistant deans and department heads. And it's my privilege to call them administrative colleagues and friends. So please stand as I call your name. Firstly, Dr. Ramesh Vamulapalli, Head of the Department of Veterinary Pathobiology. Dr. Vamulapalli was our mace bearer today. Dr. Karen Cornell, Associate Dean for Professional Programs, holder of the Aline and A.P. Wiley Endowed Chair in Veterinary Medicine. Dr. Cornell is our announcer and one of our marshals for the stage party today. Dr. Stacy Ekman, Associate Dean for Hospital Operations. Dr. Gerald Parker, Associate Dean for Global One Health. Ms. Yolanda Veals, Assistant Dean for Finance and Administration. Dr. Kristen Cheney, Assistant Dean for Curriculum and Assessment. Dr. Jonathan Levine, Head of the Department of Small Animal Clinical Sciences, and he is also holder of the Helen McWhirter Chair in Small Animal Clinical Sciences, and Dr. Levine is one of our marshals today. Dr. Todd O'Hara, Head of the Department of Veterinary Integrative Biosciences. Dr. Christine Heaps, Associate Head of the Department of Veterinary Physiology and Pharmacology. And now it's my distinct pleasure to welcome Ashley Marie Ames to the podium to share the Class of 2022 reflections. Ashley has served as a representative of her class for each of her 4 years here. She's well known for her compassion, thoughtfulness, and her leadership. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming Ms. Ashley Marie Ames, very soon to be Dr. Ashley Marie Ames, President of the Class of 2022.
Thank you, Dr. August. Howdy, class. We made it to the point of becoming doctors. To share this experience with each of you is an honor. It feels just like yesterday that we were cautiously engaging in Mingle Mingle and taking our first composite pictures on the last day of orientation that displayed our glowing, sweaty faces, which we referred back to as we learned each other's names. Remember back to early 2018, when you received your acceptance letters and all of your hard work paid off to start your journey to this day. I'm sure you've heard people brag on you saying how hard it is to get into this program. Yet at this point, we know that that was just the beginning of a trying 4 years. You earned this day. In first year, we learned the basics of anatomy, physiology, and how not to shut your computers in the desk. We learned how to lean on classmates around us who quickly became family. These people were able to understand our struggles and celebrate our successes more than anyone else because they were living it too. We normalized not knowing everything and helped each other with hard topics. Probably the best way that we related to each other was through our award-winning meme threads on Facebook. Spring break 2020 was supposed to be haunted by toxic plants exam, but however, a global pandemic changed our learning environment as we knew it. We transitioned to Zoom University, where our breakout rooms were now, our breakout groups were now breakout rooms. New skills were performed on kitchen tables with boarded surgeons on the other side of a screen, and significant others and roommates got a small veterinary education, but our pets got spoiled with extra time. An already challenging program complicated further, but we did it. Through our didactic learning, we had over 130 exams, countless assignments and quizzes. And in all of that, there are some subjects that may still haunt us, like what is the definition of an acute phase protein? Or lengthy large animal exams. But there are things that we couldn't forget, like the presentation of a cushingoid dog, a GDV on radiographs, and that anaplasmosis does not cause You got this. You've got this. We joined together again on our clinical year with new energy. During rotations, we learned to rely on each other and to make it through, and found joy in getting closer to more of our classmates. Thank you for holding patience for each other, lending stethoscopes, thermometers, pins, and a blanket whenever the hospital was approximately the temperature of Antarctica. Mostly, thank you for the relationships developed over the years that's impact will last a lifetime. Thank you to the clinicians, residents, interns, technicians, and staff that taught us as colleagues with patience and understanding. Those moments that you took the time to pause in your day and devote to our future mean more than you know. To those of you looking on to this class, I want you to know that this is a class of amazing strength and resilience. Through this challenging training, I bet we could all say that our lives look different than they did 4 years ago. Some faced major life changes personally, and some to their close circle. When those challenges were difficult, you could see this class gather and support. And there were definitely celebrations along the way, including engagements to marriages and a few baby additions to the class. For our family and friends, this journey began long before these 4 years. You saw us chase our dreams from a young age and sacrificed with us. Thank you for your support, letting us study at inopportune times and understanding whenever we missed gatherings. Class, I'll close by saying, no matter what you do with this degree, you'll be great. We were once polled on our strengths and values, and let me remind you what your strengths, that you hold strengths such as kindness, honesty, humor, and integrity, and values such as compassion and growth. Never stop learning. Take time for yourself. Use your voice to make a difference in this profession and speak for our patients who cannot speak for themselves. I love you all. Thank you.
Ashley, nice words. Thank you. It's now my pleasure to welcome to the podium Dr. Jennifer Schleining, Clinical Associate Professor of Veterinary Large Animal Clinical Sciences and Associate Director of Continuing Education in our college. Dr. Schleining has been invited to present the charge to the class of 2022. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming Dr. Jennifer Schleining.
Thank you, Dean August, and thank you all to the students for allowing me to be part of your special day. Like many of you, I grew up wanting to be a veterinarian. In fact, all my childhood friends also wanted to be veterinarians, and our dream from the beginning was to open a clinic together after we had all gone to vet school. And the name was the Ponderosa Vet Clinic in the Black Hills of South Dakota. I can recall our strategic planning missions and meetings as we were running through the pine forests of my friend's cattle ranch outside of a small town called Pringle, south of town. And this was our life plan. And then we got to high school. And come to find out, math is fairly important in the practice of veterinary medicine. And so is science. And so that was contrary to the interests of at least 2 of my 5 childhood friends that were all going to be partners in our practice. Also, apparently you have to go to college after college. There went a couple more. And finally, one decided that taking care of plants was a lot easier than cleaning up after animals. So instead of opening the Ponderosa Veterinary Clinic where we were going to see any and all patients, instead there was a PRCA cowboy, a logger, a golf course manager, and a landscape architect. My lifehood plans were derailed. But this was not the first time I had heard no. The first time was when I was 9 years old. I had spent the entire summer at my aunt and uncle's farm in eastern South Dakota. And I spent my days feeding calves, cleaning tack, riding horses, fostering baby kittens who had feral mothers. And this was when I knew that I was going to be a veterinarian. After that summer, I went home though. I went back to the trailer house on the edge of town that I shared with my sister and my mother, who was divorced from an alcoholic father. Society told me, you can't be a veterinarian. You're not good enough. No nagged me again when in high school, my longtime boyfriend said, you can't be a veterinarian. And my grandma Wilma, bless her dear, sweet, redheaded heart, gave me a typewriter with the automatic autocorrect to take to college with me so that I could practice my words per minute and get the best secretarial job there was after I graduated. And so, you know what? I believed them. I packed up my typewriter and headed to Chadron State College in Western Nebraska to become a high school math teacher and a basketball coach. But louder than these no's was the inner tug of knowing that I was really meant to care for animals and the people that owned them. Bigger than these no's was the support of influential teachers I had encountered in my small school, and my parents, including my father, who is now going on his 39th year of sobriety. And my extended family and friends who pushed me to do hard things. So I pushed that boyfriend to the corner and I changed course. I got into vet school 3 years after undergrad and met my next no in my first semester of veterinary school in a class called histology. Apparently, you do need to look at slides to pass histology. No was screaming very loudly at me as I grabbed from my mailbox the carbon copy pink slip that notified me of my D midterm grade, along with a paper-clipped note from my class advisor, Dr. Howard, that just said, "Come see me." Now, what you need to know about Dr. Monica Howard is that she is a 6'2" African-American woman who, before becoming a boarded pathologist, was a professional bodybuilder. So you can believe that the yes that she gave me in her small office that day was loud and clear. I had to get my crap together. And she said, "Yes, you can." And so I did. Fast forward to 2003, after I had decided to pursue large animal surgery as my specialty. I was a large animal clinical fellow at Oregon State University, aspiring to match a surgery residency, when one morning, myself and my colleague, Dr. Shannon Reed, were out doing lameness exams with a longtime faculty member at that university, when he asked us, "What are you guys going to do after your fellowship?" And we said, "We're going to be large animal surgeons." He responded by spitting a wad of chewing tobacco, onto my friend, Dr. Reed's toe. And he said, "Girls can't be large animal surgeons." There it was again. No. 6 months later, following a midnight colic, we sat together, all three of us, around a shared gallon of ice cream, going back and reflecting on the difficult small intestinal strangulation surgery. He reflected on what an amazing career large animal surgery had been to him. And he wished us the best of luck in our endeavors and said, "You two are going to be fine surgeons." 3 months later, he passed away from pancreatic cancer. His no had become a yes, you can. Many of you have experienced your own no's. Remediation, anyone? Remember your first OSCE? I know, as you were passing 40 colored beads from one side of the container to the other with your needle holders while stowing your thumb forceps. I can now confide in you that I was terrified as I was grading you on this OSCE that I was going to lose count of how many beads you were actually passing. And hand ties. On more than one occasion, I heard you say, "I will never get this." And then you did. And then the look of bewilderment when you came to clinics and we asked you to actually tie in an IV catheter using the said hand tie, as if we really expected you to have to know how to do that. And then we redid it together. Some of you, though, have had louder no's. You've had changes in your family units. You've had deaths of influential people in your lives. Some of you have seen great challenges. Some of you have found out that maybe what I was originally going to do isn't what I really want to do, because in fact, I do like cows. And when COVID screamed no at us in 2020 and 2021, we linked arms and said, "Yes, we can." And we did. Sometimes it wasn't so pretty, but we made it through together. Friends, you're going to experience many no's between now and the end of your career. The silver lining of the no's is that it has taught us to lean on our yeses. And yeses take many forms. For some of us, it takes remembering what our yeses are by grabbing our fishing pole and heading to the lake. For some, it's going on a run or painting or playing music, or reconnecting with a friend, or maybe binge watching Ted Lasso, even though I wouldn't know anything about that. But central to the yeses in our lives is our communities of support. These are the people who get us through the hard days and are there to celebrate the good days with us. For those of you in attendance today, if you have sent an inspirational email, if you covered rent 1 month when finances were short, if you have stood by your graduate with support when things were hard and they called crying because they got the D in histology, I want to know that you matter. And I would ask you to please rise and be recognized. If you love and support or have done any action of support for these graduates, I would please ask that you rise. You are our yeses. So lastly, I would like to send you off with these final no's. Know that today you enter one of the best, most rewarding professions in the world. Know that the skills and knowledge that you have developed over the last 4 years will serve you well no matter where your journey takes you. And most importantly, know you have a family here at Texas A&M University. Stop it, Bree. That loves you very much and is incredibly stinking proud of you all. And maybe sometimes we expect a phone call now and then. Congratulations, graduate.
Thank you, Dr. Schleining, for a very heartfelt charge to the class of 2022. We now come to the moment you've all been waiting for, the hooding ceremony and the presentation of diplomas. The hood on each graduate symbolizes the academic community's recognition of completion of the requirements for an advanced degree. Higher education developed in European monasteries during the medieval era, and originally hoods were utilitarian capes worn by monks. However, over the years, the hood and investiture ceremony have evolved as symbols of personal intellectual accomplishment. You may notice the variety of robe and hood colors among the faculty and on the stage today. This indicates their various degrees and the universities that they've attended. But this afternoon, we're going to focus on the gray hood trim and gray stripes, signifying the Doctor of Veterinary Medicine degree. The inner silk lining of the hood represents Texas A&M University's institutional colors, maroon and white. Our graduating students have selected 2 members of our faculty to participate in their graduation. Assisting with the hooding this afternoon are Dr. Kevin Washburn, Professor of Large Animal Internal Medicine, and Dr. Cheryl Herman, Clinical Associate Professor of Veterinary Integrative Biosciences. We are honored to have these faculty members assist Dr. Karen Cornell, Dr. Stacy Ekman, and me in the investiture ceremony. An additional participating faculty member is Dr. Tammy Frank Cannon, Clinical Assistant Professor in Veterinary Integrative Biosciences, who led the class procession today. Several of our graduates have invited immediate faculty members who are veterinarians to assist in their hooding. With those individuals, please walk to the designated backstage area at this time. Then you will join your new Doctor of Veterinary Medicine when their name is called. And now I would like to invite Dr. Karen Cornell to come forward to officially present our students for graduation. Dr. Cornell.
Oh, you look fantastic. So it is my privilege to ask all of the candidates for degrees to please rise if able. That's you guys. Dean August, based upon the recommendation of the faculty of Texas A&M University, I certify that these candidates have filled all the academic requirements of their degrees. I'm honored to present them to you for the awarding of the Doctor of Veterinary Medicine degree. Would the graduates of the class of 2022 please come forward to be hooded and receive your diplomas? Also, I want to let the audience know that we have multiple professional photographers here, and they'll be taking photos of each graduate today. They'll be made available to you. So I encourage you to sit back, relax, enjoy, and whip it up when your graduate crosses the stage. Dr. Carolyn Marie Alsop. Dr. Alsop will be joining Southern Wind Veterinary Services, a mixed animal practice in Seguin, Texas. She's being hooded by her sister, Dr. Catherine Alsop Stry, a 2014 graduate from the Texas A&M College of Veterinary Medicine and Biomedical Sciences. Dr. Ashley Marie Ames. Dr. Ames will be joining Dimmitt Veterinary Clinic, a mixed animal practice in Dimmitt, Texas. Dr. Katie Brock Anderson. Dr. Anderson will be joining Forever Vets Animal Hospital, a companion animal practice in Jacksonville, Florida. She graduates cum laude. Dr. Tianti Lee Askey. Dr. Askey will be joining 113 Equine in Millsap, Texas for a large animal internship. She graduates magna cum laude. Dr. Cody Garrett Atkinson. Dr. Atkinson will be joining North Carolina State University in Raleigh, North Carolina for a small animal internship. He graduates summa cum laude. Dr. Olivia Baird. Dr. Baird will be joining Leander Veterinary Clinic, a companion animal clinic in Leander, Texas. Dr. Brianthony N. Baker. Dr. Baker will be joining Acadian Equine Hospital in Opelousas, Louisiana for a large animal internship. Dr. Madison Page Bartosh. Dr. Bartosh will be serving in the U.S. Army. She is being hooded by her father, Dr. Michael Bartosh, a 1988 graduate from Texas A&M College of Veterinary Medicine and Biomedical Sciences. Dr. Lily Suzanne Bertelson. Dr. Bertelson will be joining Oak Ridge Equine Hospital in Edmond, Oklahoma for a large animal internship. Dr. Anna Catherine Blick. Dr. Blick will be practicing mixed animal medicine in Central Texas. Dr. Catherine Lee Bristow. Dr. Bristow will be joining a mixed animal clinic in Lompoc, California. Dr. Hillary Ann Brugel. Dr. Brugel will be joining VCA Arden Animal Hospital, a companion animal hospital in Glendale, California. Dr. Jessica Samantha Cantu. Dr. Cantu will be working for a small animal practice in San Antonio, Texas. Dr. Catherine Prince Caprio. Dr. Caprio will be joining BVet Animal Hospital, a companion animal hospital in Austin, Texas. Dr. Gabrielle Alexandra Casper. Dr. Casper will be joining Deer Park Animal Hospital, a companion animal hospital in Deer Park, Texas. Dr. Gabriela Alessandra Castillo. Dr. Castillo will be joining Metropolis Animal Hospital, a companion animal hospital in Dallas, Texas. Dr. Carla M. Castillo. Dr. Castillo will be joining Deerfield Animal Hospital, a companion animal hospital in San Antonio, Texas. Dr. Jorge Armando Chavarria. Dr. Chavarria will be joining Los Cabos Veterinary Clinic, a mixed animal practice in San Angelo, Texas. Dr. Robert Austin Michael Chuffaut. Dr. Chuffaut will be joining VCA Mercedes Place Animal Hospital, a small animal hospital in Bent Brook, Texas. He graduates magna cum laude. Dr. Lindsay Nicole Christensen. Dr. Christensen will be joining Farrell Animal Hospital, a companion animal hospital in Dalworthington Gardens, Texas. Dr. Kayla Nicole Corey. Dr. Corey will be joining Auburn University in Auburn, Alabama for a small animal internship. She graduates cum laude. Dr. Marshall Akiva Coven. Dr. Coven will be joining Killeen Veterinary Clinic, a companion animal clinic in Killeen, Texas. He graduates magna cum laude. Dr. Cambridge Coy. Dr. Coy will be joining Texas A&M University's Small Animal Clinic in College Station for his small animal internships. She graduates summa cum laude. Dr. Victoria Beverly Coy. Dr. Coy will be joining Willacy County Veterinary Hospital, a mixed animal hospital in Raymondville, Texas. Dr. Carolyn N. Cunningham. Dr. Cunningham will be joining Intermountain Pet Hospital, a companion animal hospital in Boise, Idaho. She graduates summa cum laude. Dr. McCallie Kane Cunningham. Dr. Cunningham will be joining Merck Animal Health Ventures team for a 6-month virtual co-op. Dr. Sabrina Dagger Arevalo. Dr. Dagger Arevalo will be completing a small animal internship as a member of the U.S. Army at the Fort Belvoir Clinic in Fort Belvoir, Virginia. Dr. Ashley Elisa Dane Gressman. Dr. Dane Gressman. Dr. Dane Gressman will be joining Frisco Emergency Pet Care, a companion animal practice in Frisco, Texas. Dr. Rebecca Ann Daniel. Dr. Daniel will be joining Highland Knolls Veterinary Clinic, a small animal practice in Katy, Texas. Dr. Brooke Haley Davis. Dr. Davis will be joining Cypress Fairhaven Animal Hospital, a companion animal hospital in Cypress, Texas, and she graduates magna cum laude. Dr. Amanda Lee Day. Dr. Day will be joining the University of Illinois in Urbana, Illinois for a small animal internship. She graduates magna cum laude. Dr. Luke Ripley DeVille. Dr. DeVille will be joining County Line Veterinary Clinic, a companion animal practice in New Braunfels, Texas. He graduates cum laude. Dr. Alexandra McKenzie Dwyer. Dr. Dwyer will be joining the Animal Hospital of Conroe, a companion animal hospital in Conroe, Texas. She graduates magna cum laude. Dr. Morgan Ellen Donsbach. Dr. Donsbach will be joining Fredericksburg Veterinary Clinic, a mixed animal practice in Fredericksburg, Texas. Dr. Rebecca Elizabeth Dowd. Dr. Dowd will be joining VCA Preston Park Animal Hospital, a companion animal hospital in Dallas, Texas. Dr. Kelsey Christine Early. Dr. Early will be practicing emergency medicine in the Dallas-Fort Worth, Texas area. Dr. Jeremy S. Eccles. Dr. Eccles will be opening Vaquero Animal Health, a food animal practice in Waco, Texas. Dr. Noor Fessel. Dr. Fessel will be joining Purina Pet Care in St. Joseph, Missouri for a small animal internship. Dr. Leah Noel Fancher. Dr. Fancher will be joining Veterinary Emergency Hospital of Midlothian, a small animal emergency hospital in Midlothian, Texas. She graduates cum laude. Dr. Rachel Lynn Fargerson. Dr. Fargerson will be joining Oak Grove Veterinary Clinic, a mixed animal practice in Schulenburg, Texas. Dr. Tylo Kim Farrar Hutchison. Dr. Farrar Hutchison will be joining Hansford County Veterinary Hospital, a mixed animal hospital in Spearman, Texas. Dr. Haley A. Fetters. Dr. Fetters will be joining Veterinary Emergency Group, a companion animal practice in Paramus, New Jersey. She graduates magna cum laude. Dr. Catherine Rita Freeman. Dr. Freeman will be joining Veterinary Emergency Group, a companion animal practice in Katy, Texas, and she graduates magna cum laude. Dr. Caitlin M. Freeman. Dr. Freeman will be joining Salt Creek Veterinary Hospital, a mixed animal hospital in Olney, Texas, and she graduates cum laude. Dr. Miranda Dene Garcia Fuentes. Dr. Fuentes will be joining El Centro Pet Medical Center, a mixed animal practice in Killeen, Texas. Dr. Nicholas William Garcia. Dr. Garcia will be joining Neighborhood Veterinary Centers, a companion animal practice in Nederland, Texas. Dr. Nicholas Christopher Gleason. Dr. Gleason will be joining Vet Savers Pet Hospital, a companion animal hospital in Carrollton, Texas. He graduates cum laude, and he's being hooded by his father, Dr. Christopher Gleason, a 1986 graduate of the Texas A&M College of Veterinary Medicine and Biomedical Sciences. Dr. Katrina Gorski. Dr. Gorski will be joining Van Alstyne Veterinary Clinic, a mixed animal practice in Van Alstyne, Texas. Dr. Taylor Rose Gorley. Dr. Gorley will be joining Central Texas Specialty and Emergency Hospital and a companion animal hospital in Round Rock, Texas. She graduates magna cum laude. Dr. Tatiana Veronica Guy. Dr. Guy will be joining Bingle Veterinary Clinic, a companion animal practice in Houston, Texas. She graduates summa cum laude. Dr. Kelsey Danielle Hale. Dr. Hale is seeking a position in regulatory or conservation medicine. Dr. Hannah Baker Hale. Dr. Hale will be joining Village Veterinary Clinic, a companion animal practice in Houston, Texas. She graduates magna cum laude. Dr. Kemery Lynn Tong Bang Hankins. Dr. Hankins will be joining Mississippi State University in Starkville, Mississippi for a small animal internship. She graduates cum laude. Dr. Megan Stone Harvey. Dr. Harvey will be joining Cypress Fairhaven Animal Hospital, a companion animal hospital in Cypress, Texas. She graduates cum laude, and she's being hooded by her mother, Dr. Terry Stone, a 2001 graduate of the Texas A&M College of Veterinary Medicine and Biomedical Sciences. Dr. Madison Kathleen Hayden. Dr. Hayden will be joining Dallas Animal Urgent Care, a companion animal hospital in Dallas, Texas. Dr. Allison Nicole Heflin. Dr. Heflin will be joining East Lake Cat Care Center, a feline practice in Dallas, Texas. She graduates magna cum laude. Dr. Elijah George Hernandez. Dr. Hernandez will be joining Montana Equine Billings, an equine hospital and practice in Billings, Montana. He graduates cum laude. Dr. Sydney Renee Herring. Dr. Herring will be joining Westbury Animal Hospital, a companion animal hospital in Houston, Texas. She graduates cum laude. Dr. Alyssa Cool Hyatt. Dr. Hyatt will be joining Red Barn Veterinary Clinic, a mixed animal practice in Oakland, Nebraska. She graduates magna cum laude. Dr. Ashlyn Catherine Holbert. Dr. Holbert will be joining Westbury Animal Hospital, a companion animal hospital in Houston, Texas, and finishing her PhD at Texas A&M University. Dr. Christopher Holcomb. Dr. Holcomb will be joining Treasure Valley Veterinary Services, a mixed animal practice in Nyssa, Oregon. He graduates magna cum laude. Dr. Kayla Miles Holt. Dr. Holt will be joining Central Georgia Veterinary or Central Georgia Equine Services and equine practice in Fort Valley, Georgia. She graduates cum laude. Dr. Emily Claire Hoskins. Dr. Hoskins will be joining the University of Tennessee in Knoxville, Tennessee for a pathology residency. She graduates magna cum laude. Dr. Anna Joy Jackson. Dr. Jackson will be joining Westbury Animal Hospital, a companion animal hospital in Houston, Texas. She graduates cum laude. Dr. Michael Charles Jimerson. Dr. Jimerson will be joining the University of Wisconsin-Madison in Madison, Wisconsin for a small animal internship. He graduates summa cum laude. Dr. Carly Page Johnson. Dr. Johnson will be joining Ohio State University in Columbus, Ohio for a small animal internship. She graduates summa cum laude. Dr. Ricky Amina Corredia. Dr. Corredia will be joining Veterinary Emergency Group, a companion animal practice in Dallas, Texas. She graduates cum laude. Dr. Jaspreet Kaur. Dr. Kaur will be joining Cornell University in Ithaca, New York for a residency in clinical pathology. She graduates cum laude. Dr. Elizabeth Carney. Dr. Carney will be joining Blue Ridge Equine Clinic in Earlysville, Virginia for an equine internship. She graduates magna cum laude. Dr. Rachel Shea Kennedy. Dr. Kennedy will be joining Highland Park Animal Hospital, a companion animal hospital in Dallas, Texas. She graduates cum laude. Dr. Caitlin Marie Kimball. Dr. Kimball will be joining Heart of Texas Veterinary Specialty and Emergency Center, a companion animal hospital in Round Rock, Texas. Dr. Rebecca Faith Kirchhoff. Dr. Kirchhoff will be joining Salt Creek Veterinary Clinic in Olney, Texas for a mixed animal internship. Dr. Catherine Elizabeth Klotz. Dr. Klotz will be joining Loving Care Pet Hospital, a companion and exotic animal practice in Santa Fe, Texas. Dr. Zoe Garnett Colkhorst. Dr. Colkhorst will be joining Washington Animal Clinic, a mixed animal practice in Brenham, Texas. She graduates cum laude. Dr. Kate A. Korchik. Dr. Korchik will be joining Purdue University in West Lafayette, Indiana for a small animal internship. Dr. Allison Nicole Lagarde. Dr. Lagarde will be joining Above and Beyond Veterinary Hospital in Pearland, Texas, a companion animal hospital in Pearland. Dr. Sarah Kathleen Lane. Dr. Lane will be joining Oak Forest Veterinary Hospital, a companion animal hospital in Houston, Texas. She graduates cum laude and she's being hooded by her brother, Dr. Tom Jeffries, a 2021 graduate of the Texas A&M College of Veterinary Medicine and Biomedical Sciences. Dr. Isamar Yasmin Laura. Dr. Lara will be joining Town and Country Veterinary Hospital, a companion animal hospital in San Antonio, Texas. Dr. Samantha Mary Ann Lawrenson. Dr. Lawrenson will be joining Leander Veterinary Clinic, a companion animal practice in Leander, Texas, and she graduates cum laude. Dr. Reagan Lee. Dr. Lee will be joining Root and Riddle Equine Hospital in Lexington, Kentucky for an equine internship. She graduates cum laude. Dr. Matthew Dayton Lewis. Dr. Lewis will be joining Central Texas Veterinary Hospital, a mixed animal hospital in Brownwood, Texas. He graduates cum laude. Dr. Taylor D. Lovell. Dr. Lovell will be joining a mixed animal practice in Midland, Texas, and she graduates magna cum laude. Dr. Samantha Nicole Lowry. Dr. Lowry will be joining Marion DuPont Scott Equine Medical Center in Leesburg, Virginia for a large animal internship. She graduates summa cum laude. Dr. Jackson Alexander Maddox. Dr. Maddox will be joining East Tex Veterinary Clinic, a mixed animal practice in Nacogdoches, Texas. Dr. Sarah Marie Manning. Dr. Manning will be joining Beard Navasota Veterinary Hospital, a mixed animal hospital in Navasota, Texas. She graduates magna cum laude. Dr. Courtney Michelle Markley. Dr. Markley will be joining Covenant Care Animal Hospital, a companion animal hospital in San Antonio, Texas. Dr. Morgan Page Marshall. Dr. Marshall will be joining All Pets 24 Animal Hospital and ER, a companion animal hospital in Katy, Texas, and she graduates magna cum laude. Dr. Morgan Michelle Martin. Dr. Martin will be joining Cole Veterinary Hospital, a companion animal hospital in Spring, Texas. She graduates cum laude. Dr. Ricardo Martinez. Dr. Martinez will be joining Arizona Veterinary Emergency and Critical Care Center in Gilbert, Arizona for a small animal internship. He graduates magna cum laude. Dr. Jack Carter McAdoo. Dr. McAdoo will be joining Washington Heights Veterinary Clinic, a companion animal hospital in Houston, Texas, and he is hooded by his mother, Dr. Tracy McAdoo, a 1985 graduate of the Texas A&M College of Veterinary Medicine and Biomedical Sciences. Dr. Julia G. McElwee. Dr. McElwee will be joining Winnie Veterinary Clinic, a companion animal practice in Winnie, Texas. Dr. Janelle Madison McMahon. Dr. McMahon will be joining East Lake Animal Hospital, a companion animal hospital in Dallas, Texas. Dr. Nicole Meadow. Dr. Meadow will be joining the Ohio State University in Columbus, Ohio for a small animal internship. She graduates magna cum laude. Dr. Brittany A. Miano. Dr. Miano will be joining Boonville Animal Hospital, a mixed animal hospital in Bryan, Texas, and she graduates cum laude. Dr. Sarah Elizabeth Moore. Dr. Moore will be practicing equine medicine at Kendall County Veterinary Center, a mixed animal practice in Bernie, Texas. Dr. Jennifer Money. Dr. Money. Dr. Money will be joining a companion animal practice in Houston with an emphasis on feline medicine. Dr. Haley R. Morgan. Dr. Morgan will be joining Spicewood Veterinary Clinic, a companion animal hospital in Spicewood, Texas. She graduates magna cum laude. Dr. Caleb T. Murphy. Dr. Murphy will be joining Cottonwood Creek Veterinary Hospital, a mixed animal hospital in Waco, Texas. Dr. Jennifer Neri. Dr. Neri will be joining All Pets Animal Hospital and 24-hour emergency care, a companion animal practice in Katy, Texas. She graduates cum laude. Dr. Sophia Christina Nava. Dr. Nava will be joining Covenant Care Animal Hospital, a companion animal hospital in San Antonio, Texas. She graduates cum laude. Dr. Marjorie Ben Hung Nguyen. Dr. Nguyen will be joining Westbury Animal Hospital, a companion animal hospital in Houston, Texas. Dr. Jacqueline A. Nichols. Dr. Nichols will be joining VCA's Sacramento Veterinary Referral Center in Sacramento, California for a small animal internship. She graduates summa cum laude. Dr. Azucena Ochoa. Dr. Ochoa will be joining Bingle Veterinary Clinic, a companion animal practice in Houston, Texas. She graduates cum laude. Dr. Lauren Alexis Parker. Dr. Parker will be joining Claws and Paws, a companion animal practice in Pearland, Texas. Dr. Alexandra Danielle Phoenix. Dr. Phoenix will be joining Hamlet Veterinary Hospital, a small animal hospital in Ottawa, Ontario, Canada. She graduates cum laude. Dr. Ashley Taylor Pierce. Dr. Pierce will be joining Art Vista Animal Hospital, a companion animal hospital in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. Dr. Michaela Pender. Dr. Pender will be joining Southern Equine Services in Aiken, South Carolina for an equine internship. She graduates cum laude. Dr. Tyler Jackson Ping. Dr. Ping will be joining the Well Pet Center Veterinary Hospital, a companion animal hospital in Katy, Texas. He graduates magna cum laude, and he's being hooded by his father, Dr. Brian Ping, a 1995 graduate of the Texas A&M College of Veterinary Medicine and Biomedical Sciences. Dr. Kendall McKay Pittman. Dr. Pittman will be joining Blanco Veterinary Clinic, a mixed animal practice in Blanco, Texas. She graduates magna cum laude. Dr. Talia Rowe Pleason. Dr. Pleason will be joining Canyon Veterinary Hospital at Companion Animal Hospital in Canyon Lake, Texas. She graduates magna cum laude. Dr. Brianna Nicole Poses. Dr. Poses will be joining Kings Highway Animal Clinic, a mixed animal practice in San Marcos, Texas. She graduates cum laude. Dr. Landry Vasut Prado. Dr. Prado will be joining Brikerwood Veterinary Clinic, a companion animal practice in Austin, Texas, and she graduates magna cum laude. Dr. Cameron Taylor Purcell. Dr. Purcell will be joining Blue Pearl in Scottsdale, Arizona for a small animal internship. Dr. Samantha Rapoli. Dr. Rapoli will be joining Edo Veterinary Clinic, a companion animal practice in Houston, Texas. She graduates cum laude. Dr. Joel Rodriguez. Dr. Rodriguez. Dr. Rodriguez will be joining Reisinger Veterinary Hospital, a mixed animal practice in Terrell, Texas. Dr. Paige E. Roth. Dr. Roth will be joining Beta Veterinary Care, a companion animal practice in Denver, Colorado. She graduates cum laude. Dr. Amy N. Sarcinello. Dr. Sarcinello will be joining Tropicana Animal Hospital, a companion animal practice in Las Vegas, Nevada. Dr. Lauren Elizabeth Schmitz-Minner. Dr. Schmitz-Minner will be joining VCA Alameda East in Denver, Colorado for a small animal internship. She graduates magna cum laude. Unable to be with us today is Dr. Zachary Galloway Seiler. Dr. Seiler will be joining Killeen Veterinary Clinic, a companion animal practice in Killeen, Texas. He graduates cum laude. Dr. Taylor Dawn Sheffield. Dr. Sheffield will be joining Banfield Animal Hospital, a companion animal hospital in McKinney, Texas. She graduates cum laude. Dr. Christine Carol Sims. Dr. Sims will be joining Arizona Veterinary Emergency and Critical Care Center in Gilbert, Arizona for a small animal internship. She graduates cum laude. Dr. William Edward Smolka. Dr. Smolka will be joining Arden Animal Clinic, a mixed animal practice in San Angelo, Texas. Dr. Brian Castle Stanley. Dr. Stanley will be joining Greenwood Village Veterinary Clinic, a companion animal practice in Denver, Colorado. Dr. Kayla Lee Street. Dr. Street will be joining Brazoria Veterinary Clinic, a mixed animal practice in Brazoria, Texas. Dr. Prudence L. Sun. Dr. Sun will be joining All Pets Animal Hospital, a companion animal hospital in Katy, Texas. She graduates summa cum laude. Dr. Vanessa Takam. Dr. Takam will be practicing mixed animal medicine in Texas, and she graduates magna cum laude. Dr. Lauren Gray Taylor. Dr. Taylor will be joining Sunset Canyon Veterinary Hospital, a mixed animal hospital in Dripping Springs, Texas. She graduates magna cum laude. Dr. Anna Colleen Teague. Dr. Teague will be joining Stonebridge Veterinary Medical Center, a companion animal practice in Conroe, Texas, and she graduates cum laude. Dr. Emily K. Terry. Dr. Terry will be joining Animal Clinic of Perryton, a mixed animal practice in Perryton, Texas, and she graduates magna cum laude. Dr. Rebecca Mayo Thornton. Dr. Thornton will be joining I-20 Animal Hospital, a companion animal hospital in Weatherford, Texas. She graduates cum laude. Dr. Abby Carolyn Toppins. Dr. Toppins will be joining the University of Oklahoma in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, for a comparative medicine residency. She graduates summa cum laude. Dr. Orville Jamane Tucker. Dr. Tucker will be joining Town and Country Animal Hospital, a mixed animal hospital in Aubrey, Texas. He graduates magna cum laude. Dr. Caitlin Elizabeth Upton. Dr. Upton will be joining the University of Tennessee in Knoxville, Tennessee for a large animal internship. She graduates magna cum laude. Dr. Danielle Nicole Vaden Anderson. Dr. Vaden Anderson will be joining Aztec Pet Hospital, a companion animal hospital in Harker Heights, Texas. Dr. Emily Lake Vandermeer. Dr. Vandermeer will be joining Stubner Airline Veterinary Hospital, a companion animal hospital in Houston, Texas. She graduates magna cum laude, and she's being hooded by both her mother, Dr. Wendy Dirksen, and her father, Dr. John Vandermeer, both 1990 graduates of the Texas A&M College of Veterinary Medicine and Biomedical Sciences. Dr. Gabriela Natalie Vega. Dr. Vega will be joining Creekside Pet Care, an emergency practice in Keller, Texas. Dr. Alex Voon. Dr. Voon will be joining Vet Savers Pet Hospital, a companion animal hospital in Carrollton, Texas. He graduates cum laude. Dr. Shannon Wan. Dr. Wan will be joining Jersey Village Animal Hospital and a companion animal hospital in Houston, Texas. Dr. Kendall Lauren Wheeler. Dr. Wheeler will be joining Equine Sports Medicine in Pilot Point, Texas for an equine internship. She graduates cum laude. Dr. William Douglas Wolf. Dr. Wolf will be joining Stoneside Veterinary Hospital, a companion animal hospital in Waller, Texas. He graduates cum laude.
We now come to a solemn and pivotal moment in today's commencement ceremony. While the hooding ceremony was symbolic, now marks the actual time of transition, the conferring and the granting of the Doctor of Veterinary Medicine degree. Literally, within a few beats of your hearts, your lives will be changed forever. No longer will people refer to you as Ms. or Mr. or just sister, brother, daughter, or son. From this point forward, you will forevermore be doctor. Will the members of the 2022 graduating class please stand as able for the conferring of degrees? Upon the recommendation of the faculty of the College of Veterinary Medicine and Biomedical Sciences, and by the authority vested in me by the Board of Regents of the Texas A&M University System and the state of Texas, I hereby confer upon you individually the degree of Doctor of Veterinary Medicine with all of the rights, privileges, and societal responsibilities pertaining thereto. Congratulations. Please be seated. Fellow colleagues and doctors of veterinary medicine, allow me to be the first to congratulate you and welcome you to the proud profession of veterinary medicine, one of the most noble professions in the world. Congratulations. And now it is my pleasure to invite to the podium Dr. Tamara Walthall, President of the Texas Veterinary Medical Association, who will administer the veterinarian's oath. Dr. Walthall.
Well, congratulations, new graduates. At this time, I will administer the veterinarian's oath. Will the veterinarians among the faculty, in the audience, and on stage, please rise and join our graduates to reaffirm our commitment to the precepts of our oath. If you're a vet, stand. Raise your right hand and repeat after me. Being admitted to the profession of veterinary medicine, I solemnly swear to use my scientific knowledge and skills for the benefit of society through the protection of animal health and welfare, the prevention and relief of animal suffering, the conservation of animal resources, the promotion of public health, and the advancement of medical knowledge. I will practice my profession conscientiously and with dignity, and in keeping with the principles of veterinary medical ethics. I accept as a lifelong obligation the continual improvement of my professional knowledge and competence. Well then, thank you very much. Congratulations. Please return to your seat.
Congratulations again to our newest veterinarians in the world. For the past 23 years, Operation Lone Star, now called Operation Border Health, has been an emergency preparedness exercise sponsored annually by the Texas Department of State Health Services. Public health authorities, county health agencies, the National Guard, and volunteer health professionals and health science students collaborate at designated sites along the Texas border to provide essential health care for underserved communities. The exercise is strategically scheduled in July to ensure that children in that area have access to medical, vision, and dental care before the upcoming school year. Operation Border Health is one of the nation's largest humanitarian efforts, supporting thousands of families who otherwise might not have access to these basic services. In July 2021, a team of our faculty members, students, and staff from our college was invited to participate in Operation Border Health for the first time, providing veterinary services to underserved communities in South Texas. The team was assigned to Raymondville, a small town north of Harlingen, alongside teams of medical professionals. Willacy County, in which Raymondville is located, has had no veterinarian for several years, but I got an idea it's going to have one pretty soon because I heard one of you is heading to Raymondville. a.m. Monday until Friday noon that week in Operation Border Health provided primary and preventive health care for 735 companion animals, an exhilarating and grueling experience for those of you who participated. I'd like to share a couple of quotes, if I may, from two of the 16 members of your class who worked tirelessly in the South Texas heat that week to help the deeply appreciative residents of that small town. First quote from one of you: "This was a stressful environment, but we didn't fall apart. We came together and we solved problems." Another of you said, "This trip has connected me back to the human-animal bond and has been a great reminder of why I want to be a veterinarian." In many ways, these comments, I think, are a metaphor for how you likely feel about the rigors and rewards of your veterinary medical education as a whole, and especially about your recent clinical year experience. Look how far you've come since that first day of classes 4 years ago. Congratulations to the class of 2022. Today you are joining the most rewarding and altruistic profession in the world. I speak for everyone in our College of Veterinary Medicine and Biomedical Sciences, both in College Station and at our beautiful campus in Kenyon, when I say how proud we are of all of you. Today is a wonderful celebration, and there are many people who deserve recognition for the special roles they've played in the lives of our graduates. Graduates, you've received your diploma, but you cannot receive an education. That must be achieved, it must be earned, and you've truly accomplished that goal. Accept your degree as a symbol of pride and of achievement. It will afford you respect and establish you as an authoritative figure in animal health, animal welfare, and One Health. It will open doors to a wide variety of professional opportunities as you serve society in a profession that advances the health of animals, people, and our environment. Texas A&M University's core values, excellence, integrity, leadership, loyalty, respect, and selfless service will continue to guide you as you assume the responsibility of your profession and throughout your lives. There is truly no other institution equal to our own. Please join me in recognizing the accomplishments of the class of 2022, the world's newest veterinarians, with a final thunderous round of applause. Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes the 2022 commencement ceremony and the 102nd class in veterinary medicine to graduate from Texas A&M University. I would like to invite all of you to join our graduates and special guests at a reception immediately following this ceremony in the Bethencourt Ballroom on the second floor of the Memorial Student Center. Signs are provided to help you get to the Bethencourt Ballroom. I ask that you please remain seated until the stage party and all graduates have exited the auditorium. We then ask guests to meet their graduate in the foyer area and proceed to the Memorial Student Center. The 2022 commencement ceremony for the Doctor of Veterinary Medicine hereby stands adjourned. Congratulations once again.